everyone, and welcome to the Hold On Till Dawn podcast. I'm your host, Erin, and today we have a very special guest. He is the amazing, talented artist that made this poster for our Boston benefit concert, and it's Andy.
Hi. That
Hi.
was such an enthusiastic, weird, pitched hi.
So, how are you? What have you been up to?
I I've been good. I have been, like I said, I've said to you personally off of this. I've been doing freelance work for about a year now. Um, and getting out of that uh job I was in for nearly 8 years. And yeah, still trying to figure out what it's like managing myself and being a professional without having that professional title that I feel like LinkedIn culture has really sort of shoved down our throats about this is what successful means. But I'm pretty happy with that professional choice I made.
Good. That's
And yeah, no,
important.
yeah, definitely was prioritizing being happy and taking control and having autonomy in my life for a little bit. Um, so that's been something that it's a journey trying to figure out how to make it last long term, but we'll get there. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been a fine time. The weather's been nice. It's like either a heat wave or rain, in Boston. So it's just
Yeah.
I'm living my best hot girl summer the best I can right now. It's like it's like so I've been watching a lot of Summer House, the reality show.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's so basically it's a show where these they're like super attractive people. They during the week they like work these hustle and bustle life in the city, and then every weekend they go to like the Hamptons and they just like get crazy. Like honestly, I'm sure that there's like a lot of substances involved, but like every episode is just like this weekend we're doing this, next weekend we're doing that. And so I feel like right now I'm just trying to be I'm I'm doing my professional adulting during the week, and then the weekend I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna self-care. And maybe self-care involves a few martinis. Or if it's not martinis, I'll just watch apparently these days reality shows. So it's been a fun time. It's been a fun time. I've been enjoying doing that. I love watching people whose lives are messier than mine. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm so normal and I love it.
Yeah, that's the best way to make yourself feel better. Watch other people and compare yourself.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Compare what is it? The quote comparison it's the thief of joy or something like that.
Oh, I don't know that,
I
but
don't I don't even know. I don't even know. I totally could be saying that completely wrong. But either way, it's like the thief of joy, but also like reality TV is sort of like the anecdote to that, I think. Like, it's like, you know what? I'm so glad that all my mess isn't on TV.
yes.
But
I
it will
always
be on my Instagram close friends, though. It will be on there for people to see.
I always used to say, so I bartend at a restaurant and
Hmm.
I'm not there as much as I used to be. I used to
Yeah.
like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I would say like we need a reality show because the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, like people would watch that. Like it is very entertaining.
It's like Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Vanderpump Rules?
No, but I've heard about
Oh
it.
my gosh. Yeah, no. I would love to see messy bartending behind the scenes stuff. I feel like it'd be so fun. I feel like okay, so like again, I've been on such a reality show kick. So like when I was binging Vanderpump Rules, and so now anytime I go to like a chic bar or restaurant, I'm always like, oh my God, it's just like we're at Sir, which is like the restaurant there. And so I'm kind of seeing this guy who he's a server at this like high end restaurant, and I was just like low key so involved in this drama that was apparently happening between like a bartender and like these two hostesses, and I was like, oh my god, it's literally like an episode of Vanderpump, and I need to know what happened next week.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna be coming back, and I'm gonna be asking questions.
I need to tune in.
It's like, you know what? Like this is the it's perfect escapism, and you're watching it live in real time. So yeah, it's like
Yeah,
my Love Island, basically.
love that. I love that.
Anyways, that's how I've been.
Good, good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Um, so I wanted to ask, how did you get your start with graphic design? Like, when did you realize that that was like your passion?
So I've been doing it pretty much. I feel like I've been doing art in general my entire life. Like it was always a thing where when I was a kid, I would be drawing in class all the time. Like art time would be my favorite. Um, kids in the classroom would ask me to draw pictures for them, draw portraits of them, um, and like it was really fun. And then it just got to a point where when I was like, I want to say even maybe like 8, when I was like, I want to create stuff like playing around on like the computers, like my family computers. So I started off just like making some stuff in like Paint, and just like playing around with it, uh, and then I eventually moved over to like Photoshop and stuff. And again, I was like 8 or 9, so I've pretty much been so I'm self-taught, so I've been doing it pretty much my
Wow,
entire life.
that's
Like,
amazing.
thank you. And like in 5th grade, I made my our like yearbook cover, and that was like really fun. That was like my first like gig, I guess. And I didn't really anticipate it doing it professionally. I've always done it like for fun in the background. Like I've always kept building my skill, and I always try to flex it wherever I can. Like if an organization at school needed a T-shirt or like a poster or something, I was always kind of like their go-to.
Hmm.
Um, and it really did, at least at that point, like I've been doing it enough that it was good enough to sort of like add to my like earliest portfolio for me to like show to other people and get more work coming in. So and then I went to call I went when I went to school, it was actually didn't even study it. I went for communications and marketing. Um, and then like pretty much like halfway through college, I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with like I'm like, I like it, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it allowed me to be my creative self, which is something I really value about who I am, and it's how I want to spend my time, which is like always thinking creatively and doing things that make me feel good. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep on this like communication and marketing track, but combine it with my passion for design and video. So I pretty much sort of made my career like I'm gonna do design and video for like marketing purposes, like whether that will go into like creative advertising or like coming up with campaigns or art direction. um I was like, you know what, I can certainly combine marry the two tracks,
Hmm.
and that's sort of been how I've been trying to shape my career. um and yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I was at a job like I was at the same company for like 8 years, and it was a really great first job. I went like straight out of college into that job, and now I'm sort of taking the reins and having that autonomy in my life to incorporate uh incorporate the professional aspect of graphic design, but having more autonomy to it
Hmm.
and being my own boss and trying to, I guess, put the joy back into it. Because you know how like when you do something, when you work when a passion turns into a job, it can just sort of like be a little bit draining. I
Yeah.
really wanted to be able to not dread having to like design and not dread editing videos because I really love doing them both. And I feel like when you're constantly being given projects or working on projects that you just don't really have any passion for, and it just like really just like sucks the life out of the art itself that you don't even want to do it for fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so I get that's my goal has been to try to add life back into the art for me. And I think it's good. It's a journey. It opens up different uh struggles that I didn't anticipate. Like it's a lot harder to self-manage than I thought it would be. Like I'm not necessarily good with like setting my own boundaries with clients, like being like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be like making requests at this time of day, or hey, um, this is going way past what we talked about, and I know that you're on a time crunch, so I'll like, yeah, I'm like, I'll be a little bit more flexible, but there comes a point where I gotta stop being so flexible for the sake of like getting my clients to like me and giving me more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm just opening up a lot of doors and precedents for them to eventually take advantage of. And at the end of the day, that kind of falls on me then. It's just like because I've been allowing these behaviors and actions to happen.
Yeah. It's like people pleasing. It's hard because you
Mm-hmm.
want to please, but
Oh
then
yeah, and yeah, it kind of becomes that like a bit of a paradox. Like you people please too much, but there comes a point where you do it so much that to like so many people that can you really is anyone really pleased
right.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day? Yeah.
It's hard to please everybody and
I
it's
love that there was like a sorry, I just cut you off.
it's okay.
There was like a tweet or meme that was like, oh, you call yourself a people pleaser? Name 5 people who are pleased with you.
Ah, that's so true
Oh my god.
though.
It's
Like
so funny.
I feel like
It's like a oh my god. Go
even
on.
when you think that you're pleasing someone, I feel like it's never to their standards.
Mm-hmm. So at that point, it's almost just like, what's the point? And it really does like kind of go back to the whole like it's a cliche, but like loving and being satisfied with like loving yourself first will radiate to other people rather than the opposite, where you think that having the other people's validation will make you love yourself.
Right.
Because that at the end of the day really doesn't it's not sustainable. Like that validation will only go so far, but the way that you feel about yourself and what makes you happy will be so much more strong. It will be so much stronger than whatever external validation that you'll get for the time being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm just sipping my like pink lemonade right now.
In your Tree Hill water bottle.
In my Tree Hill water
Did
bottle,
you
which
design that
I
logo?
didn't design it. I didn't design the logo for this event. They had there was someone who a partner that they were working with that provided this logo.
Okay.
And so it was on a lot of merch for this past year's event.
Cool. Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
t-shirt. Um,
I
I
got the hoodie.
love that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of One Tree Hill, how did you get your start with designing graphics for Ray and the Friends with Benefits?
Yeah, so that's actually really I feel like it was such like a right place, right time. Sort of stumbled into it. Like it wasn't like I reached out to Ray, or anything like that. Basically, I have an Etsy shop that I basically just started putting items on for fun. Like I didn't really think anybody would buy it, but I did a lot of like Tree Hill related things, mainly replicas of books that are on the show because like Lucas is a writer or
Oh yeah.
like their yearbook or anything like that. And I really just I love having like little, I guess, memorabilia or stuff from the show to just be like, oh, like I have it in my hands, this thing that you see on the show. So I created Lucas's novel Unkindness of Ravens for fun. And then I put it on my Etsy. I was like, hey, if anybody sees it and they like it, then like this will be fun for a fan to have. So I got I started selling like a couple, but then one person bought it and posted it on TikTok and that went like viral real quick.
Oh wow.
Um yeah, I still need to like find her and honestly like send her like so much free stuff probably because I honestly don't think that like a lot of the project I'm getting now would happen without that initial purchase.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, so it went pretty viral, and then it led to people like flocking to my store. Like I literally woke up one morning and I was just like, "Why am I getting like 50 messages an hour asking about, hey, are you gonna restock this item?" Or like, hey, or like, why did I just get like 10 purchases in the last like 5 minutes? And then I just kept having to like add more and more to my store. Um,
Wow.
and so that kind of really kicked it all off. And then eventually Ray bought a copy for herself just to like, like for
Hmm.
herself. And then she reached out about like a partnership where I can distribute the stuff that I make through Francis Benefit as well. And and then it's kind of just led to us becoming friends. And I ended up working with her on the Tree Hill cookbook, which we did literally entirely over text messaging.
So
And
fun.
like, which is like, we did not FaceTime or like Zoom or meet in person or call
That's
or anything like that. It was like
crazy.
entirely through text messaging and like me emailing her files. Um, so yeah, I did the cookbook and I think it just kind of came so organically that it was just like it just made sense that I would take on the creative direction and artwork for the events in the organization. And it's led to so many great connections, friendships. I met you from
Yep.
being there. And it led to me being able to do work for Hold On Till Dawn, which is really, really like I always enjoy doing this stuff for it. So like always feel free to ask me.
Thanks.
um yeah, and so it just again like it just kind of felt like I stumbled into it and I'm so grateful. And it's been a fun time and I hope to do it for the foreseeable future.
Thing. You're so amazingly talented. I love staring at this
Thank you.
poster. I still have it in my camera roll just so I can like look at it and
I
admire.
love it. It's when I was going about that, I was like, it's like a mini festival. It's like a mini little like
Yeah.
it's like a concert. It's a we're attracting audiences who want a fun musical time.
Hmm.
And so I enjoyed making that poster a lot. And I enjoyed everything I've done for the organization since. So
Yeah, and you made the podcast logo too, which is so awesome.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So
Yeah, it's
speaking,
fun.
oh, sorry, I just cut you
No,
off.
it's okay. I was just saying that, yeah, it's been fun.
So, speaking of the concert, what was your experience like there?
Oh, I had so much fun. Like, I think what I enjoyed the most was seeing artists that I just wasn't familiar with beforehand, and then getting able to really two things. One, getting to hear them talk about such an important but heavy topic and sharing whether it be their own personal experiences with mental health or um, just really adding to that supportive environment that the concert was building. Um, it made you feel very close and connected to not only the performers, but everyone who's there to support the cause and talk to, um, yeah, everyone who was there to support the cause. And then also just, it felt like a great, warm, supportive hug.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good way to
with
describe it.
some, some nice tunes, which was nice. And I also really enjoyed that we got to like talk to them like personally as
Yeah.
well, like being able to say hi and then being able to, uh, I guess, have that very close interaction that it didn't feel like there was any barriers between being an audience member and the performers. And I
Yeah.
loved that because it really did feel like, oh, we are all here for the same thing. We're all here because we want to raise awareness of of mental health
Hmm.
and all the resources that are available.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
This concert was a lot different than the first because the first was kind of like each artist did their thing and then they like went their
Hmm.
separate ways. This one, the artists were like so supportive of each other and wanted to
Hmm.
watch each other's sets and like get to know each
Hmm.
other. And like Drew and Grace became like friends and then they went on and
Hmm.
did a musical together.
Hmm.
So like
That's
that,
amazing.
yeah. So I was like, I love that they actually like formed relationships with each other. Like that just added like a whole nother special aspect to it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just it felt very intimate, and and everyone, even like amongst the audience members, where everyone was just like, let's just like hang out together, let's just like enjoy the music together. And it 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 truly felt like we were going to just felt like friends, just like watching each other, and I love
Right.
that. It didn't feel like, oh, here's like an event that you buy a ticket to, then you're sitting there, you take it in, and then you leave. No, it was just like, no, for we're all here for support, and it was a blast. It was a really great time.
So when you are going through a hard time, what
Hmm.
is something you like to do to pull yourself out of it?
I've really been, I guess maybe it's like because it's like the summer, but like it's been a very transformative year for me in many aspects. Um, whether it be I've lost a lot of really important relationships in my life, or just really getting comfortable with myself and being comfortable being alone. And by that I mean just like, because I'm always a person, I'm such an extrovert, and like I need to be comfortable with like spending time with myself.
Yes.
Uh, and I am not good at that. But like I've really been taking the time these days to just enjoy the weather, take like my long walks, put on my headphones and just listen to whether it be a podcast or just music I like, and just really surround myself with positive things that I know I enjoy while being alone. Like
Mhm.
I'll stroll and listen to a recap of Love Island. and uh and then I'll treat myself to like, oh, this is my favorite snack that I'll get from Trader Joe's, or like I'm gonna treat myself to my favorite refresher from Starbucks. Um, so it's just kind of really being reminding myself that it's okay to be kind to myself, and if it involves treating myself a little bit without being super financially irresponsible, uh, but just remembering that I'm having, even if I'm having a hard time, positive there are positives around me. And it's not to say that I'm looking for like that toxic positivity where it's just like, like get yourself out the rut. But
Right.
but it's more so like, feel everything that you're feeling, but don't turn a blind eye to everything that is good around you. Um, and then it eventually just, I wouldn't say necessarily gets easier, but you become stronger and it becomes more manageable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with
And I've been watching a lot of reality TV.
that.
That and a glass of wine, or what has been a fine, fine combination.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of music do you like to listen to, and what is your current favorite song?
I feel like I listen to like it's. I know that people always say they listen to everything, but like I really do feel like I listen to everything. Like my Spotify liked is literally like 7,000 songs right now.
What?
I know. People were like, what's the point of like liking songs if you just end up liking everything? And I'm like, if it's I just favorite everything that I don't hate.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like literally a mixture of like, whether it be like my pop girlies, like I'll have like, um, Taylor and I'll have Sabrina Carpenter but then it would go to like my sad girls, like I love my Lana and my Billie Eilish. And then it would go to like old school hip hop. And then and then it would go to like Doris Day and Sinatra and like Ella Fitzgerald. And then it would go to like Beatles. And then it would go to like literally like classical.
Okay,
I
so
just
you literally
listen to
do like
everything.
everything.
I literally listen to everything. Like if I put it on shuffle, it could go literally go from TLC to like Billie Holiday. And it's and I love it. I love that I have the appreciation for like a lot of different flavors of music,
Yeah,
and it really makes me just appreciate each genre more.
for sure.
So yeah, or yeah, or it would be like literally like the indie rock alternative stuff from like the teen dramas of our time. Um, and I think I like that really. I made that so much my identity growing up in high school, being like, oh, you guys can listen to your mainstream Katy Perry's and stuff. I'm gonna go listen to like the National right now. Or
Uh,
like, what do you mean you haven't heard of Honorary Title? Or like, oh, you will know the song. It was on One Tree Hill.
Okay, so you watched One Tree Hill in high school
Yeah, I watched it.
when it
I
was coming
watched
out?
it when it was coming out. I think I started on season 3. Well, actually, it's not that I started watching from season 3, but more so the first episode I ever watched was the school shooting episode.
Wow, way to go in full force.
Yeah, and so like I was like, huh, okay. Um, Stuff happened, and there are some spoilers that I am now like 3 seasons ahead of, but so then I went back and watched it. And I think at that time I was in like maybe fourth or fifth grade. I think I was in fifth grade. And then because I remember, yeah, I was in fifth grade because season 5 I was in seventh grade. So yeah,
I just,
I did watch it. Completely I was obsessed. Never in my wildest dreams I think I'd be like this up close and personal with like, friends with benefit
yeah.
and having have met the cast like as frequently as I do, which like I honestly sometimes I worry that like I'll post pictures and then one day I'm just gonna find like a subreddit and then there'll be just some angry person online being like, "Who is this random Asian man that goes to every event? He has so much money. He like sees all he pays for every single autograph and photo every time. Like, get a life." And I'm like, you know what? You wish you had my life right now. Don't even lie.
Yes, of course. That would be 100% out of jealousy.
Like I sometimes because I do get people like commenting on like my posts being like, "So how?" Being like, "You go so much. Like you must be like super rich." And I'm like, no, I just work with the organization.
Yeah, this is like your job, so obviously you're
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm really excited about September. I'm coming only to Sunday, but because I wanted to meet
that'll
Danielle
be
so
fun.
bad.
Yeah,
So,
right, because you didn't get to last time.
yeah, so I'm so excited to meet her.
It'll be so good. I'm so excited to see you. I'm so excited for it. I think it's gonna be a great lineup and hopefully a great turnout. It always is a great turnout. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and just to anyone who's listening and waiting for the lineup, I'm telling you that everyone's doing the best they can right now. So, but it always comes out really, really well.
Yeah, it never
Hmm.
disappoints, honestly.
Yeah, the patience is worth it. The patience is worth it to see who's gonna show up.
Hmm.
Honestly, I can't believe how little time there has been between the last like three events now.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I remember this used to be a thing that like people would wait like a year for. Now it's like,
Yep.
yeah. So, but I'm happy that they're giving the fans what they want, and the team is always doing such a great job. And I'm really, really grateful to have made these new friends and be a part of something that's so um just all about something that just represents kindness and generosity and giving back.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm very, very proud to be affiliated with it.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay, the last question I have for you
Okay.
is if someone is struggling that's listening to this podcast, what would you say
Hmm.
to them?
You know, maybe more so what I've been telling myself. And this may not be always be applicable to everybody, but the feeling is always when you're at a low point, it is most of the time very, it is temporary. It can in temporary can mean like a short amount of time or maybe a more extended amount of time, but there is and it's temporary, but it doesn't invalidate the way that you feel.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't make you feeling low not valuable. So it's okay to just feel everything you need to feel, but also don't forget to take care of yourself during that time.
Yeah.
Because I think that it is also harmful to want to lock away those feelings, and
Yeah.
the only way out is through,
Yep.
and everyone's process and journey is different. So there's really no timeline, and I think at the the encompassing message is be kind to yourself and feel everything you need to feel because it is not wrong. It is not bad. It's not an inconvenience. It's not a burden. Um, and one day you'll wake up and be like, whoa, like that thing that was just so heavy on me. Yeah, you can still have thoughts and feelings about it, but it's not a weight that's holding you back as much as it did at the time.
Yep. That's very,
Mhm.
very well said. because it's hard sometimes to sit in a negative feeling or emotion, but to know
Oh
to
yeah.
remind yourself that it is going to pass, it's not going to
Yeah.
last, and it's okay to be sad. I mean, you have to be sad to feel happy. Like you can't
Exactly.
just have the good emotions. You got to go through the bad too.
Yeah. And I know that everyone's brain work differently. Like there are certainly people who feel more comfortable in the locking away of emotions and feelings, but that's not something you have to do.
Yeah.
And just again, like just let yourself feel what you gotta, and it'll it'll pass. It'll pass, and I will be glad that you made it through.
Yep. Oh.
Well, I've had so much fun doing this though.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
a really
so
fun
happy
time.
that we could do this and that
Yeah. And I'm glad that you've been able to like, get your guests on and like putting the episodes out. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up for Hold On Till Dawn. Uh, yeah, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
yes, I'm so excited to see you in September.
I'll give you all the hugs, all the kisses.
Yeah.
We'll take so many cute photos together.
Yeah,
We
we
love
only
this
have one
era.
photo together.
I know. I'm really bad with remembering to take photos with people that I like know and care about.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like I'm always like, oh my god, look at this. This celebrity's over here. This, there.
Right.
But then I'm like, oh wait, people who I actually talk to though, I never remember to take a photo with them.
Well, it's because you're like having such a good time with them and like living in the
Yeah,
moment. You're not going to be like, wait, let's take a picture right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like do you remember that SNL like uh high school theater show skit that they did a few years ago? It
No.
was like there was like so the whole premise of it is that there's these like kids putting on a very art schoolish improv show that's like that's like supposed to be very like ooh mind opening and stuff. So it's like they're all dressed in black and they're all like it's kind of like slam poetry ish. And then so they have one bit where they're just like, "Hey, look, it's Kylie Jenner. Can I have a selfie? Can I take a selfie? Oh, look, it's a scientist." Nah. And it's so stupid, but I love it. And it's just like a, a very obvious commentary on like celebrity culture, but it's hilarious to me. Because I'll be like, oh look, it's Chad Michael Murray. Can I take a selfie? Can I take a selfie? Oh look, it's Erin. Okay.
That's so funny.
uh,
So
yeah.
true.
Well, yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing this. Thanks for asking me to be on this.
Yeah, this was so much fun. I love interviewing my friends. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Okay, I have to say
you.
goodbye now. I'm sad. I don't want to
I
say
love
goodbye.
it. We'll see. I'll see you in September.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk soon.
All right. Bye,
All
love.
right. Bye.
Billy.
Thank you so much for listening. Our website is holdontildawn.com and our email is holdontilldawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at holdontildawn and on Facebook at Hold On Till Dawn Benefit Concert. See you next time.